Greetings.
Good luck, then.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
I'm here to find out about the poachers, gang, and I need to ask a few questions.
Well, ask away. I don't have all day.
I heard you were yelling in the tavern that you were off to hunt some venison.
Look here. I don't know who you are, but you should watch your mouth.
I will, don't you worry. So what happened then?
What? Nothing. It was just the beer talking. I got pissed and started spouting shit. Didn't mean a word of it.
Maybe not. That remains to be seen. Blacksmith Betty saw people feasting in the woods, and she says there was a nice smell of venison. What do you know about it?
Nothing. I wasn't there.
And I don't suppose you'll tell me who was?
No, because I wasn't there.
That'll do me. I hear there's been trouble with poachers recently.
I don't have time to talk to strangers. Good day to you.
God be with you. See you later. God grant you health. See you later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good day, Henry.
My humble greetings. How may I serve you?
I heard you have poacher trouble.
Certainly do. They're running wild around here, and they kill a lot more than they take. Many a time I've seen a carcass just thrown in a ditch.
Why would someone just toss their catch in the woods? It doesn't make sense.
Well, the wagging tongues say they're just doing it to spite the huntsman.
Do you have any idea who the poachers could be?
If I knew, the bastards would be strung up by now.
Don't tell me you've heard nothing at all.
Well, I did hear that Thomas, that fellow who works at the bathhouse, was mouthing off recently, saying he'd go and bag himself some game and lay on a right feast for the village girls.
I see. Has anyone seen those poachers with their own eyes?
No, just the dead game they leave behind. But blacksmith Betty saw some goings-on in the woods.
Goings on? What's that supposed to mean?
Well, that's what she said, and I ain't one to pry.
Why would anyone want to take revenge on the huntsman?
He's not the best-liked man in the village. We all know that. And then there are those who say Hannikin Hare is back.
Who's Hannikin Hare?
You're not from around here, are you? The Hare's quite the Talmberg legend. He used to be master huntsman here once, but then he ran off.
Why did he run?
Well, it just so happens I know the answer to that. Some big important nobleman came to Talmberg around then, and they made a grand occasion of it. And in the midst of it all, Hare had a falling out with some man-at-arms and knocked him in the moat. The poor bugger broke his neck. They picked the Hare up, but before they could take him before the court, he vanished.
Why take revenge on Master Huntsman Nicholas?
Because of Nicholas's wife, Margaret. Hare had his eye on her back then, but she didn't care for him and he was fuming. Well, and after he disappeared, Nicholas got his post.
Where did he run to?
No one really knows. They say he's hiding in secret tunnels beneath the castle, but that's all fairy tales. It's been years. As I see it, he's underground all right. 6 feet down and cold.
I want to ask about something else. Thanks. That's all I need to know.
God be with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
My humble greetings. How may I serve you?
I need to ask you something about the poachers.
What? Me? Why me, for Christ's sake?
Some folk had themselves a feast in the woods recently, and the people who passed by told me they heard a piper playing. You weren't by any chance there, were you?
I was. I don't deny it. But nothing disreputable went on there.
If you're innocent, lying won't help you.
I don't know what you want from me. Nothing wrong went on in that clearing, and I certainly don't go poaching in the woods.
But you do know something about it, and you're keeping it from me. Covering up for a friend, is that it? Very well. Loyalty is a fine thing, but once they discover who did it, then it'll be too late. You'll be right in over your head, with him.
But I haven't done anything.
Then you have nothing to fear if you tell me what happened.
All right. Yes. There was venison being eaten, but I didn't bring it. Thomas brought that there.
So all that bragging when he was drunk was more than just hot air?
I don't know where the deer came from. After what happened in the tavern, Tom took me to the forest to this hide there. But I was too worried someone would catch us, and I took off.
You did yourself a favour. Thomas isn't going to get away with this. So about that
What about it?
So who was at the feast?
Just the village girls and us.
Who's us?
Us lads.
Was Tom from the Baths there too?
Yes. Yes, he was there.
That'll do for now. I need to ask you something about the poachers.
What? Me?
They say you were mouthing off in the tavern.
We'd all had a few ales. You know what it's like. The tales get taller.
So you didn't go poaching with Thomas?
My God, no. That would never even cross our minds. Thomas is a bit wild, but I have some sense at least.
So about that...
What about it?
Now listen up, laddie. I don't have time for your nonsense. This whole escapade stinks of poaching a mile off. So you better start talking.
But I'm not a poacher.
I didn't ask you that. I asked what you know about it.
Well, the thing is, if I did know something and told you, the word might get round that I'm a snitch.
If you don't talk, the word might get round that you've got broken legs. Understand?
All right. Yes. There was
So all that bragging...
I don't know where the deer came from.
Good luck, then. here to find out about the poachers.
Well, ask away.
Jake Piper reckons you were at that feast.
I wasn't.
So you're calling Jake a liar?
I don't give a toss about Jake or whatever's buzzing around that empty head of his. He probably got so drunk he had visions of me there.
Look, I can see you're not a poacher. You look like you couldn't hit a barn door.
That's what you think.
Are you trying to tell me you're a marksman? Are you an idiot or just too vain to think straight?
I don't see what you're getting at.
Look, I can tell you're not the poacher, but this constant lying isn't helping your case. In the end, if they don't find anyone, they'll come after you. They'll know it's not really you, but so what? There'll be no one better to blame, and someone has to swing for it.
All right. But promise me you won't drag me into anything.
Speak up and who knows? I might put in a word for you.
All right. The truth is I did drag a deer carcass there, but I didn't do the shooting. I was given it.
That's a likely story.
Honestly, not a word of a lie. I caught the poacher just as he was skinning.
And who might that be?
I don't know.
If you don't tell me who it was, I've no reason to believe that story of yours.
Fine. Fine. He's one of the charcoal men. I've seen him taking the charcoal to the forge. His name is Radan.
There are plenty of charcoal burners around here.
He came from the charcoal piles south of here. If you follow the creek upstream, you can't miss them.
Well, you better pray I find him, because if you've been lying to me, I'll go straight to the castle. Understood?
I'm telling the truth, I swear. I'm sure you'll find him there.
We'll see.
May the Lord watch over you.
Good evening.
I'd like to ask...
I'm sorry.
Listen, I know the hare is here, and I know you spoke with him. And if you don't want your husband to find out, you better start talking.
Wait! You can't say something like that to Nicholas. God knows what he'd do.
It's in your hands whether I tell him or not.
All right, all right. What do you want to know?
What did you talk about in the woods with Hannikin Hare?
I see Betty's mouth's been busy.
Don't blame her. I had to work hard to weasel it out of her. Now tell me.
Oh, all right. Well, it seems Hannikin Hare's exile has addled his brain. He told me he'd go off with me, that he still loves me and nonsense like that.
And what about you?
What do you mean? I was so shocked, I couldn't even scream.
Is that all he told you?
He said if I change my mind, I'm to hang a garland of forget-me-nots on the house and wait for him at that place of ours.
Where was it you saw him exactly?
I wish I could tell you. The whole thing was like a fever dream. I almost got lost trying to get out of the forest. Even if I remembered, it wouldn't be any use to you. Hannikin Hare moves through the forest like a ghost. He knows every tree root off by heart.
I want you to hang that garland on the lodge.
But I don't want to go anywhere with him.
You don't have to go anywhere. But tell me, where's that secret meeting place of yours?
I'm on the way to Ujits. Back then, we used to meet by the great big beech tree, right next to the wayside shrine. There's a lovely view there, you see.
And what time will he be waiting there for you?
At dawn. What are you going to do to Hare?
Never you mind. The main thing is it will all get sorted out. That's all that matters, isn't it?
I suppose so. Very well, then. I'll hang the garland for you.
That'll be everything.
God be with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
A fellow from Talmborough claims he saw you poaching. What do you have to say about that? Can you hear me? Don't you have anything to say to me about that?
I'm not a poacher.
It's not what I've heard.
But I'm not a poacher, no.
Did your friends tell you the penalty for poaching?
No.
No? Of course not. Because if you knew, you'd never have been foolish enough to get involved.
I'm no poacher.
No, of course not. You're the Pope in disguise.
What?
Oh, never mind. But just so you know, the local custom is to string poachers up.
I don't want to hang.
No? Then you better make sure they won't hang you.
How?
For a start, by telling me where I can find your merry band of poachers. Because maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but I don't think you're the leader.
No, I'm not.
So, out with it.
They only take me along from time to time.
All right. But you know where I can find them, don't you?
Aye.
And where is that?
The clearing.
They meet in a clearing.
They camp there.
And where is the clearing?
A short walk from here.
A short walk where? Do you know how many clearings there are in these woods?
No, sorry, I don't know.
Oh my god. Where is the clearing they camp in? How do I get there?
Along the trail, from the huntsman's lodge. Go into the wood by the big broken tree, eastward.
Very well. I hope I can find it.
God be with you.
Yeah!
God save you, Henry.
Hey, how'd you get so...
Good luck, then. Greetings. A tankard of ale for me.
Would you know of any way I could earn a bit of coin around here?
As it happens,
I was just going to tell you about a job.
So, tell me.
Now and again, the fisherman from Talmberg comes around here with some game to sell. There's more and more poaching going on there, and they're always looking for new people, if you're interested.
Don't tell me there's a shortage of poachers.
There isn't. Only their chief is, well, not an easy man to get on with.
Why's that?
He's a strange one for a poacher. He's got ideas, not just about how to make coin, but you'll see for yourself soon enough.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Then find a fellow in Talmberg who goes by the name of Black Lucas. I think he lives on the hill above the castle. Tell him I sent you.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Smash them!
Where is everybody? Help!
Készen látok. Megjöttem, mulatság.
Elég volt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm guessing Nicholas won't be joining us. Who the devil are you?
I thought you wanted to meet up with Margaret.
Fortunately, I'm not that much of a fool anymore. I was hoping I'd tempt Nicholas out of his lair. But let's get to the point. Who are you, and what are you doing here?
My name is Henry, and I work for the Master Huntsman.
So are you going to arrest me?
I am.
All I ask is that you listen to me first.
Why should I listen to you?
Because if you care about justice, you're after the wrong man.
Anyone can say that.
And that's precisely why the accused should get a proper hearing.
Let me guess. You're going to tell me you're innocent?
I wouldn't presume. I've been poaching on the Divish estate, and I'll take the punishment I deserve. But the crime I was nearly strung up for, that one I didn't commit.
I've no idea what you're talking about.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Hannikin Hare of Zalush.
The nobleman?
I used to be. My house became sadly impoverished, and I became the master huntsman at Talmberg.
Gamekeeper turned poacher? I see. That's quite a transformation.
Nicholas gave me no choice.
What happened to your family?
My father lost his influential friends and the money with them. after his death, I inherited only his debts. There was nothing for it but to sell off all our possessions, see to my sister's welfare, and manage as best I could.
That sounds a rough deal.
Believe it or not, I never cared for the life of a nobleman. I spent my youth running free, hunting in the woods.
What happened between you and Nicholas?
I was falsely accused of murder. Henry of Lipa visited Talmberg, and the morning after the banquet in his honor, one of his men was found dead.
And didn't they have any cause to suspect you?
That's just it. They did. At the banquet, I got into a fight with the man.
I know Sir Hanish of Lipa. Was Sir Henry his father?
Indeed. He was on his way to Ratai to take charge of the fiefdom for young Sir Hans Capon.
Why did you get into a fight with him?
The fall of the House of Zalush was the work of the Lords of Lipa, and that fellow took great delight in reminding me of it.
And then what?
Nicholas began to pull strings. Several people came forward as witnesses to say they saw me with the fellow later that night.
Why would he have done that?
He wanted rid of me. We were both in love with the same lass, you see, and Margaret is his wife today. But back then, there was no question which of the two of us would win her. I was the huntsman of noble blood, and Nicholas was just plain Nick. Her father's preference was clear.
Do you know who did kill the man?
No. He was found in a ditch with his neck broken. He could have tripped and fallen, all on his own.
And that never occurred to anyone?
It did. But some people swore they'd seen us jostling on the drawbridge. Of course, that was Nicholas's work.
What did Margaret think of you?
She took me for a fool. She only had eyes for Nicholas, but I didn't see it then. In the end, she could have saved me.
How?
She could have told the truth. After the banquet, I was with her. But when they asked her, she said she hadn't seen me that night.
How did you get out of it?
What leads you to imagine I did?
Your head's still on your shoulders, so you must have escaped somehow.
I'm alive. But my name and my family's name has been dragged through the mud. For me, that's worse than the sentence waiting for me.
If you say so. But you still managed to get away.
Well, it's true. I had the good fortune to escape from the dungeon.
From the Talmberg dungeon? That can't be done, can it?
It's not too hard when the lord of the castle himself helps you escape.
So, Divish set you free? From his own dungeon?
He couldn't offend Henry, so he had to lock me up. But he trusted me. We were friends, after all. He led me out of the castle in the night. I was given a good horse, and in a couple of days I was in Silesia. And that was the end of it. At least until now.
And how did it happen?
It's a long story.
I've got time to listen.
All right. But for you to understand, I have to start from the beginning. I was born as Hannikin Hare of Zalush, the eldest son of Sidney of Zalush. My house became sadly impoverished, and I became the master huntsman at Talmberg.
Gamekeeper turned poacher.
Nicholas gave me no choice.
What happened between you and Nicholas?
I was falsely accused of murder. Henry of Lipa visited.
And didn't they have any court?
That's just it. They...
And then what?
Nicholas began to pull strings.
Why would he have done that?
He wanted rid of me. But back then, there was no question which of the two of us would win her.
How did you get out?
What leads you?
Your head?
I'm alive. Well...
An interesting story.
I can't complain of boredom. The question is, will anyone believe me?
Even if I believed you, there's no proof. It all happened a long time ago.
I know. But if I didn't believe in my own innocence, I'd have to be crazy to have done what I did.
Why?
If I truly were guilty, why would I risk coming back to Bohemia? I could have died in peace as a rich man in the pay of the Jagiellonians. Only a fool would come back.
Nicholas took everything you had, regardless of your guilt or innocence. I'd say you have more than enough cause to want revenge.
I'm not like him. Anyway, you're right. I don't have any proof of my innocence. All I can give you is my word.
This is one of the most insane stories I've heard lately.
That doesn't surprise me.
But something tells me you're speaking the truth, Panicking Hare.
Thank you. And if you want to help me, come to the old mine gallery in Broad Woods.
I'll be there.
I have a plan, but I need some help.